I agree. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. And man, welcome to today's video, or this week's episode's video. We just walked in the door, literally just walked in. And let me show you real quickly what happened just a couple of days ago. Bam! We have our countertops. They were installed Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. We've got our countertops with the sink.
I got paper chef.
Oh, I don't even want to ask what that cost me. I know what this countertop cost me, and that's got me it's got me shivering enough. Anyway, this is a leathered granite countertop, which is just, it feels really kind of cool. I can't remember the name of it right now. Blue Moon. But wow, just look at that. Oh, it just is awesome. Also got the vanity here in the bathroom, which looks really great. If you recall from last week's video, I'll post that up there here at the top of the screen. But we installed our lighting, and it's yellow. And so Karen has gone out and purchased some white bulbs, and we're going to install those real quickly and see what those look like. Be careful now! Don't you chip our new counters, new vanities. So hey, we got a lot to do this weekend. We got a lot of things planned. There's going to be a significant amount of activity out here going on, and so we're glad you're along for the ride. Let's do this. So one of the most highly anticipated additions to our little farm as we get this thing kicked off, outside the cabin, of course, is our orchard, our little farm's namesake, the little orchard. We got to plant a little orchard. And so Karen and I went out and we purchased about 50 trees. Most of which are fruit trees. We bought a couple of pecan trees to plant for long term. Maybe when we don't have any teeth, we can enjoy some pecan pralines or something. But anyway, we went out and we purchased a set of fruit trees, 6 different varieties of apple trees, 2 different varieties of peach, 3 varieties of pear trees, a plum, a couple of different types of fig, brown turkey and black mission, a persimmon tree, and a couple of goji berry bushes. So we've got, and a couple of different types of nectarine. So we've got a full variety of things that we would like to try to plant. All of them are recommended for our zone, 7B, and how we kind of went about planning this thing out was we took a look at the ripening windows for particularly the apples, and then the ripening windows for the peaches and pears, which are all around that June, July, August time frame. Apples were a little bit wider, so everything from early June, March, April, May, May, kind of that May time frame to November. And so we picked several different varieties that would ripen throughout that time period to where we would have a couple of overlaps. And so that's why we picked things like the Gala Honeycrisp, Cortland, Granny Smith, Fuji, and Golden Delicious. I may be missing one in there somewhere, but essentially those ripen in succession. And so we should have around 2 to 2.5 months of fruit of apples. And if we play our cards just right, we should have a pretty good abundance of peaches and pears as well. So you might be asking yourself, how did we go about laying out our orchard, or thinking about how we wanted to lay out and to stock our orchard? And to be quite honest with you, there was a lot of personal preference, the types of different fruits that Ken and I both enjoy. We still have not gotten to, and we won't get into the berries until probably the fall of this year. We will look to get some primocane variety blackberries, some rabbit eye type blueberries, and then possibly some currants. But most of it was just, our personal preferences, the types of apples that we like, or the different kinds of peaches and pears that we felt like would be great for baking and canning and so forth. And we came out with the selection of fruit trees that we have. Now, the strategy on how to plant this is, kind of going by Stefan from Miracle Farms. I would pronounce his last name, but I'd butcher it, and he's a brilliant man. I don't want to do that. He has a wonderful YouTube channel. Check it out. He has he works with a concept called, kind of a trio food forest, and I think he uses some permaculture practices on his farm. And through 20 plus years of trial and error, he's kind of figured it out a little bit. And
it's cold out here.
It is.
It's like the tundra.
It is cold. I'm not sure it's the tundra cold, but my ears are a little cold. But he does a great job in talking about planting trees in trios. And gives a lot of great reasons as to why you don't plant, just rows and rows of apples and then rows and rows of peaches and so forth. Most of which are centered around controlling blight and other disease related, airborne disease related things that affect a specific variety or species of tree. And so we thought we would kind of maybe take that and employ some of those techniques into our little orchard. And so what we've come up with, and I'll put a little graphic up here for you to see, we've come up with 5 rows of 9. Actually, one row will only have 8 because we only have 44 trees that we're planting. We'll end up going and buying another tree, no doubt. That'll drive us crazy having one row shorter than the other, right? We won't be able to deal with that. Got to figure it out. Got to level it out. So 5 rows of 9 trees each. We're going to space them 7 feet apart. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most of all of our trees are standard size trees. I mean, we're going to include some goji berry bushes in there. Those are not going to be 20-foot type of canopy trees. In fact, they'll only get to be about 4 to 6 feet. But our plan is to keep our apple and pear and peach trees, nectarines and so forth, pruned back to where the actual size of its canopy only is around 8 to 10 feet, champagne glass style, where we're cutting the leader line or the leader branch going through the middle. And so we're going to try to manage our little orchard in a way where we can do a little bit of dense planting. We could easily plant these, I think, probably 10 or 15 feet apart and get away with it. But I'd like to see if we can do this in an area that's a little bit more condensed, and kind of just see how it turns out. We're living and learning, right? Living and learning. And so we're going to plant our trees 7 to 8 feet apart, probably 7 feet. Maybe I'll change my mind. But anyway, we're going to have a 10-foot row in between the trees that'll give us plenty of space to get our tractor down for cutting, and it'll allow for the canopy to grow in over a little bit of the aisleways, if you will, without impeding our ability to get in and manicure or tend to the paths. We're gonna put these where we're going to be drilling our holes. And so Karen will eventually come out with her tractor, and she will have her auger, and we will drill our holes and then put the trees in the holes. They are bare root trees, so they're not going to have a ball or anything. We will have to save our dirt, put the dirt back in it. We've got mulch. We got some mulch to put around it. A few of our tree chips, our wood chips. We need to get back on the back side of the property and get those others chipped up. But we will. You killing me. But we're gonna lay it out in this area here. See if we can't get our 44 trees staked. What do you think?
We can almost draw a straight line.
I think it looks okay. All right. Let me show you what we've got here. We put in 5 lines of 9 flags, right straight through there. Here's row number 1. Row number 2, pretty good and straight. Row number 3, not bad, pretty good and straight. Row 4, it's not bad either. Look, they're all pretty good. And row 5, boom. I got to do some work on this pile right here, get it all spread out. And then right back over here, you might be able to see a few of the flags, but we have 4 Pawnee pecan trees that I'm going to put in the ground back there, and see how they, in 12 to 15 years, we'll see if we get some pecans. That's enough giving. Let's get back to the cabin and get out of the tundra. You a little chilly?
Yes.
You did great. All right. Well, there you have it. The orchard has been planned. We've got the trees ordered. Not sure when they're coming in yet. It's going to probably be a couple of weeks still yet. But hopefully we'll get them in the ground before the ground freezes. On up in the mid-February, late February, the ground gets hard. So I'd like to get them in this month and hopefully in the next couple of weeks before the temperatures fall off into the sub-freezing for an extended amount of time. But yeah, we'll get the trees in, we'll get them planted, and then we're just going to sit back and take care of them bad boys for a few years until we get our first fruit. That's exciting to think about. So next thing up, I want to show you what we've got in terms of our seeds. We ordered seeds. We kind of went through a planning deal with what we want to plant and things of that nature. So let's get inside here, and I'll show you some of the companies we ordered from, where we got our seeds, and some of the selections that we made. Let's get on in here. So one of the other things that we obtained over this past couple of weeks was our seeds. We went out and we bought a little smorgasbord to plant in our very first garden. We wanted to get a nice selection of both greens and root crop and vining vegetables and so forth, just so that we could get out and start playing to figure out what we were going to really find to be interesting to both put on the shelf, to use as maybe feed or whatever the case. And so we ended up going with 3 different companies. All of them offered heirloom and organic seeds, which we were at least interested in starting with. Just the heirloom fact from the heirloom side, for the fact that we could maybe do some seed saving if we chose, whereas hybrid, you obviously can't do that. And so we decided to maybe look in that direction first. And so first person we kind of checked out was the seed guy. And so we ended up purchasing some of their seeds, and we got like 60 varieties of different things. Most of which I think that we will find very much use in the garden for. Some of it we may or may not use. Don't really feel like that was a waste of money necessarily, because I think over time we'll end up experimenting with a lot of stuff. But the seed guy had a really nice selection. They even had a full herb selection they sent out that we can grow our herbal seeds. We also had some seeds that we ordered from True Leaf. What we did is we ended up going with the seed guy first, and the things that we felt like that we did not see from this selection, we came over here and from True Leaf Market bought some of the things that we really did want. For example, we got some of our sweet and hot peppers. We got I got some Swiss chard. There was some other, let's see, that's the pepper. Oh, we got some Roma tomatoes. So we needed a nice paste tomato. So we ended up getting a paste tomato. I got some loofah sponge seeds, and also some sunflower, an autumn beauty sunflower seed. So we kind of came back through and said, hey, what else did we not find that we really did want to put in our market or in our garden? Karen and I have always, when we had our little gardens around the house, have always put peppers and onion and things like that in our garden, because we enjoy doing kind of like the fajita mix, right? So anyway, that's what we did. And then finally, I came all the way back around to a company that I hear so much of, and I just got the package in the mail just the other day. So I'm actually excited to open it. And it's from Hoss. And Hoss Tool has a line of reputable seeds, and so I ended up going out there and ordering a few things again that I didn't have anywhere else necessarily. Oh yeah. And so I ended up getting some Brussels sprouts, some watermelon, which are the Georgia rattlesnake watermelon, awesome, and then finally the national pickling cucumber. Man, we're nearing about 80 different varieties of vegetables to put in our garden. And that goes on top of the 44 fruit trees that we'll be also planting in our orchard. And so the hope is that over the next couple of years that we will become proficient, to become a little bit more self-sustainable, to both not only feed our family, but share, right? We got some wonderful neighbors that we're going to be going in partnerships with on some other projects that will be coming down the pipe, and can't wait to share those with you. But one of those projects is to become community self-sufficient or self-sustainable, where You know, my neighbor grows a certain kind of corn that I won't grow on my property or on my farm, but I'll turn around and grow beans. And so he'll give me some corn, I'll give him some beans. And we end up supporting one another in our diversity of crops that allows us all to really live a really wholesome and happy life without having the responsibility of planting 225 different vegetables, right? Well, all right, there you have it. That's, man, all the good stuff that's happening with the orchard and the garden with all the seeds. And man, it's just going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. In fact, I'm going to go dream about some seeds sprouting come spring. And in the morning, we're going to go and we're going to pick up the sprayer, and we've got to spray our second application of ProCal. If you remember last week, I mentioned that our my brother-in-law's sprayer had a issue. Well, the pump froze up on him, and so it was much more than just a little fuse. We had to replace the pump. So he replaced the pump. It's back working. We're going to go get it. We're going to bring it down here. And man, we're gonna run it around and get a great application of ProCal all across our property, about 5 or 6 acres worth of our land here. We want to continue to apply lime to raise that pH up. So anyway, we're gonna do that. We're gonna get out there. We're gonna knock out getting that sprayed, and then I've got maybe a couple of other little things before we end the video for this episode. So. All right, time to go do some seed dreaming. See you in a few minutes. It was good to knock that out. So now, having put down a ton of fertilizer back in the fall, as well as a second application of the ProCal lime, man, I'm hoping that our ground is going to be ready to plant. We will still add some additional amendments, bone meal or you know, things like that. But in terms of the actual fertilizer, along with the lime, I think we should be good. We'll see. Man, I'm glad you guys came along on the ride this weekend. We knocked out a lot of stuff. Tons of stuff. And we'll be right back at it again next week. So hope you guys come back and see us again. Until we see you the next time, we hope you guys have a wonderful week, a very blessed week. We will see ya.